And I think, some people will hear about that, the deadlift, press, squat movement, and they'll look at, oh, I can't do that. But there's lots of tweaks and modifications you can do with all of those exercises that you can either work around an injury or work around a dysfunction or work around kind of an ache or pain with all of them. Like people might see, typical deadlift person going to maximum and go, I can't do that. But there's so many ways of modifying the deadlift that you can end up doing it and start playing around with the intensity and range of motion and start and end point.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, it's endless what you can do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, one thing so that was kind of covering like the strength and conditioning side of things and kind of the benefits of looking at your program more as, strength and conditioning program as opposed to just an single dimensional training program like just body weight training or just bodybuilding training. Now I wanted to kind of go into something that looking at your program, Strong, Lean, and Condition, I saw it and I thought it was really cool, and it was your interpretation of the 7 habits of highly fit people. Now I don't want to go through all 7 because I don't want to ruin it for everybody, because you go through it in detail in your program. Now, I wanted to kind of highlight 3 of them. So maybe you can kind of expand. So one that you talked about is, and there are no specific order, but one you said journaling your workout. So maybe you can kind of explain like why, that's important, and people that are, highly fit, that's like one of their secrets that they do.
Well, we've all heard the term or the saying, what gets measured gets improved. So a way of measuring your workouts is just to document everything you do when you train, how much weight you did, how many reps, how many sets, rest periods, even how you felt that day. Were you tired? Were you stiff, sore? How were your energy levels? So all these things you document your training sessions, so then you can see your progress along the way, and you can systematically make those little minute but steady increases week by week, day by day, and eventually, before you know it, you've made leaps and bounds. So it's definitely a way to track your progress and just stay accountable.
Okay. And then one other one that you talked about was like mobility and active recovery days. Maybe kind of explain what those are, why they're important, and why why you don't necessarily have to take a full day off of doing nothing. There's stuff that you can do that's kind of active and that's going to help you reach your fitness goals.
Yeah, I mean, the most neglected areas of people's training programs is the mobility and active recovery. I guess because it's not glamorous, it's not fun, it's kind of tedious, and it doesn't really do much for you in terms of your aesthetic look. But it's so important in terms of if you're training hard and you're training consistently, you want to make sure your body is recovering. So doing some mobility work like just some active dynamic stretching, foam rolling, stuff to keep the joints and muscles loose and limber will allow you to go back into your next training session that much more fresh and recovered, so you can hit it that much harder more often. I mean, that's the key to training, is if we can recover faster, we can get back in there and hit it again that much harder and get that much better. So the recovery and the mobility is so important, despite the fact that it's not really that fun or glamorous. I mean, we all want to lift heavy and just go hard, but we can't do that every day if we're too beat up. So that's why the recovery is so important.
Perfect, perfect. And you did another video for us at Exercise for Injuries on like a mobility, flexibility routine that people can do as an active recovery day or like a mobility workout that they can do. So people can, the link will probably be around here or below, that they can end up checking it out, that video. Yep. Going through it, and also will be on the blog exercisesforinjuries.com. Now I thought this other habit that you had was like training your weakness at least once a week. Maybe you kind of explain that. I think that was good. I haven't heard that one before.
Well, I mean, it goes back to that whole thing when the biggest mistakes people make is they do the same thing over and over again, and that's due in part because you just do what you enjoy doing or what you're good at, but not necessarily what you need to do. So, I mean, for me, myself, as an example, I'm a big, strong guy, so cardio and conditioning doesn't come as easy to me. So I got to make sure at least one day to just pure conditioning, because otherwise it's very easy for me to just skip it, go back into the squat rack, lift heavy. That's easy for me. It comes natural. But that's why we need to always address at least one weakness in order to just keep ourselves well-rounded, prevent injury, and just, it's good for the mental toughness as well too, right? Doing things you don't like makes you that much stronger. So it's one of those things that more people need to do in order to get themselves better.
Good point. Good point. Now, that kind of covers. So there's another four more, and if people want to check those out, you have them in your program. The strong, lean, and conditioned. But that kind of covers all the questions that I end up having. Now, is there anything that you want to leave people with? Is there a question that I didn't ask you that you wanted me to ask? This is kind of your chance to leave people that last little bit of wisdom.
Ha. Well, I don't want to say too much other than, there's a lot of fitness training programs out there, and I guess my program is different in the sense that I'm not really promoting any sort of quick fix or, fast results. It's all about hard work, consistency, and putting in the time. The exercises in my program are highly effective. They work, but it only works if you do. So, at the end of the day, you're going to get out what you put in. And as long as you're willing to put in the work, you're gonna get strong, lean, and conditioned. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah.
Awesome. And now, Isaac, where can people get more information about you?
You can visit me at my blog, isaac-payne.com, or you can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/purepayne.
Okay. And that's Payne, Payne.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's like your last name. It's not the true Payne spelling. So that's it. So thank you very much, Isaac, for your time. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you for having me, Rick.
No worries, no worries. And thank you, everyone, at exercisesforinjuries.com. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and make sure to check out the other interviews that I have done. Also, make sure to swing by exercisesforinjuries.com. Enter in your injury or pain. There's a good chance of an article, video, or an interview that'll help you overcome your injury or pain. So this is Rick Caselge with Isaac Payne saying take care and bye-bye.